Hello, this is the Square It Game weekend. Welcome to the Square It Game, and this is now Sunday morning. Let's play the Square It Game. If you've played it before, let's see if you can do better. As always, play for fun, think to win. So we've got, just going to very quickly share with, just going to do a live. Oh, it does that. This is why, ooh, sharing really doesn't work for me, does it? I keep seeing very strange things going on when I share. Other things pop up. That is not what I was planning at all. Oh, no. Okay, none of this is helping at all. Right, let's see if this is it. No, that was from before. I click a button to share and all kinds of weird things happen. So there you go. And I think I found it here. Let's see, last attempt to share. Watch party. Ooh, very last attempt. So we're going to, it's the Square It Game. So you've got two choices. I'm just putting the link in the description. So you can either print out from the link, the resource from the link, or I'm going to sit right here so you can see it, or you can just draw it on a piece of paper now. So what you need to draw is, you need to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Yes, so what you need to draw is lots of dots on a piece of paper. Make sure that they're square. So here I've just got, you can just start with 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Make sure that the columns are straight and the rows are straight and that there's the same distance between all the dots. Now, I've got one over here that I'm going to keep hidden in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, we're just going to plain old play the Square It Game. Okay, if we play the Square It Game, then what that's going to do is bring this a bit closer, is just flat play the Square It Game. I'm going to start here, and what we do to do is make a square. Make a square, so when we join the dots, we make a square. So we start with 1. Well, green says, I don't think I'm going to let you have that one. So I'm going to go there. And red says, well, I don't want you to have that one. So I'll go there. And then green says, well, I'm going to take that one because you're nearly closed that square. And red says, well, in that case, well, I can't see that green's even ever going to be able to make a square. So I'm going to go over here because I think I can make a square there. And green says, well, I'm going to stop you from making a square there. So red says, well, I don't really mind where you make a square now because you can't make a square because, you know what? I'm not sure if anyone's going to win this one. What do you think? Do you think anyone can actually make a square on this one? And now it's red's turn. And we start there. Now let me see. Maybe we can, so does anybody manage to make a square on there? Can you see any squares on there? Okay, let's have another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, 6. That's not very square. 7, 8. Oh, that's definitely not terribly square, but we'll take it. So this time red says, I'm going to take this dot this time. So green says, this time I'm going to take the middle square. I'm going to get the middle square. I'm going to be happy with that. And red says, well, I'm going to stop you from getting a square at the bottom there. And green says, well, I can get squares on the outside. I'm going to go for that one. And red says, well, I'm going to go over here so that I can't see where green is. Oh yes, I see where green is going to make a square. But you know what? I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to stop green at the last minute. And green says, okay, that's cool. Coolio. I've got my eyes on my target. Got my eyes on my target. Can you see the square that green's going for? And red says, you think you're winning, huh? You think you're winning? Well, let's see. I'm not even going to bother stopping you. I'm just going to put a dot there. So green says, yay, okay, I think I'm going to get. And red says, stop. And green says, why am I stopping? I'm about to win. And red says, but I've already won. Can you see where red has won? Can you see? So we can get a little bit closer as well. A little bit closer. Can you see where red has won? Let's have a join the dots. Let's play join the dots. Boing, 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 boing. So as you can see, not all the dots are horizontal. So not all the dots are lying flat. If they're lying on the ground flat, they would be horizontal. And if they were vertical, vertical is if you're standing straight upright, that's vertical. So not all the squares are horizontal and vertical. Some of them are a bit tilted. And just in case you thought that isn't a square, let's just have a look. If we turn it over on its side so that it is horizontal, does it now look like the square you were expecting to see? Yeah, it's a bit rough. I know that it was not exactly right, but the thing is, it's the same square. Just if you turn it, it's a tilted square, it's what it is. Perfect. Right. Okay, well, the next game you can play is, where's my big black one? My lovely my big black one. I'm going to make another 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next game we can play is find the where's the red one? Here it is. Find all the squares, all of them, but all of them. So for that, we're going to use different colors. So we're going to find all the little squares. There's a little square that joins, there's 2 dots on every edge. Just like there's 2 vertices on every edge of normal square. There we go, found 4 squares. Are there any more horizontal and vertical squares? Can you see any more? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 like this. So for the square, we've got 4 like that, for that size, for the 9 dot. Let's put it here. 3, I call it 3 by 3. We've got 4 like that. We've got, let's see, well, we've got the one that we already know about. We've got this one here. Is there more than one tilted square on that shape? One of those. And then, is there another one? Can you see another one? Where's there another one? You reckon you can see another one? If we join all the dots on around the outside, that would be a 3 by 3 square. There's one of those. So it's got 4 of those inside of it. And we could write that as well. We could say that's a 1 by, well, I suppose it's 2 by 2, isn't it? Because we're counting the edge. The edge is not the, so that's got 2 dots. That's got 1 dot, but it's 1 up, 1 across. So it's 1 up, 1 across. Oh, that doesn't draw very well, does it? 1 up, 1 across, and then that one's got is 3 dots. Okay. So that's basically 3 up. And just that's it, just 3 up, 0 across. All right, so we've got a total of, we think, maybe 6. Okay, cool. Right, and you can do that for all of them. And we'll look into that a bit more tomorrow as well. We'll look into the proper maths of it tomorrow morning at this time. Now, let's play again. Let's play with a bigger. Let's go with this one, shall we? Now, we need to find, remember we're looking for a square. So the place we might find a square, let's see if we can do it. How are we going to do it? We're going to do a blue and a red, a green and a red. That color blue, that's not blue. Wait, we're not going to use red, green. We're going to use purple and we'll use purple and blue. We'll use these two colors. Ready? Now. So purple's going to start. Purple's going to say, right, well, I'm going to start right on the outside. Let's get that corner sorted. Want that corner, right, that's mine. Jolly good. And now blue says, well, I'm going to go here. So purple says, well, I'm not going to worry too much about blue at this point. I'm going to go here because I know I want that big square. That's going to give me lots of possibilities. And blue says, well, I'm going to stop you making a square here. And purple says, well, it doesn't stop me from making a square here. So I'm going to make a big square here. There you go. Oh, now blue says, oh, dear, 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 dear. Okie dokie. I'm going to make the next one here so that you can't make that big blue square. And then purple says, well, I'm going to stop you from making that square, but it also enables me to make other squares down in the middle here. And so blue says, yeah, all right, that's okay. You go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and make my square here, my dot there. And purple says, right, okay. So where can I make a square? I know, if I take this one in the middle here, that gives me lots of possibilities. And blue says, that's all right, you can do that. Because I've won. Oh, you can't see them very well, can you? Not much contrast there. I'm going to make the purple red around the outside. Right, now can you see them? Can you see where blue has made a square? I'll give you a clue, it's a tilted square. And it's not a really simple one like that because there are those little squares in there. If you look, you can see a little square like here, for example, there's one like that. There's lots of them in there, but we don't have one made up like that. Can you see the one? Can you see the one that blue has made? Let's see if we can join them together. 1, 2. So we've gone across 1 and down 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Up 1, across 3. 1, 2, 3. And we've made a tilted square, but it's a different tilted square because it's across 1 and up 3, or up 1 across 3. There's 1 and then 3. That's the path between the dots. And so that is a different tilted square to that first one. And can you see any other tilted squares in there while we're at it? Like, for example, joining these 4 dots and those 4 dots. So there's a few more possible tilted squares in there, and then you've got the smaller tilted squares. You haven't just got the big ones, you've got the smaller ones. And so you can find all the squares in there, all the various different squares. That's a different game. But in the meantime, blue has won. Now, just wanted to show you this, which is on a 5x5 grid. No, that's a 5x5. This is on a 6x6. You've got a bunch of different, you've got the tilted square there. And what I haven't drawn on here actually is the little tilted square. The reason why I did that one is because it's the ones that are slightly tilted, that are like long, whereas if you have I'll draw them here. You've got that one that's tilted, and then you've got that one, but they follow the same line, whereas these all follow different lines, and so you have to find all of those. So that's something else. That's a different game. And with that game, you can do that and do lots of drawings. Okay, so you can make art. You can find all the different other things, and then once you've found all the squares, you can go ahead and make art. And it doesn't only have to be square art, although it could be. You could just make square art, see what square art you can make that only involves squares, and then if you want, you can do the same thing again, only add some other lines in to include triangles in your art. Right, now going back to this one again, there is another game, and it's not the Square It game. It's a different variation of the Square It game. It's another game that you can play that involves thinking, and it involves capturing the most amount of squares. So could you see this line? I think this was working. So I'm going to start here. Yes. And then we're going to use this other one because it's nice and bright. And then we're going to, that's when red's going to start here. And then blue's going to go here. Well, the first person to close up 3 positions, well, red's going to go here. And then blue's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to make one here. And I'm just going to show you it. And then red's going to go there. And then blue's going to go, ha, I got one, I got one, I got one. If I close that, then that belongs to blue. And then blue says, right, I'm going to do one there. And then red goes, yay, if I close that, then that belongs to red. Oh, and then I forget, yes, then you get another go. If you close it down, then you get another go. So red's not going to make that silly mistake again. Red's going to go down here, and blue's going to go, right, well, I'm going to make one there. And red's go, well, I like this game. I'm going to make one down here. We're going to see how long we can make this snake, this tunnel, without closing it. And red says, well, I'm just going to demonstrate. This is for the sake of the game. I'm going to demonstrate. I've now closed that one there. Well, if you close that one there, then all of a sudden goes, blue has closed that one, has another go, closes that one, has another go, closes that one, has another go, and now it's blue's turn. So blue's saying, all right, I'm not going to close one, because that way I'll be giving an X to red. Now, the key here, well, see if you can find the key, but as ever, you want to get the most X's in your color, and as ever, it is play for fun and think to win. So it is strategy. You've got to think about it, and also make sure you don't miss the ones that you're making them too soon. Now, for young learners, a 5-year-old can play this game just fine and might not strategize so much, might just enjoy making the X's, and that's it, and making as many X's as possible, one at a time, and that's fine, although they love making more than one. The older you get, you can strategize and see if you can make long snakes. But the key is you must not be the last one to close the hoop. So if we had a long one like that, we could even have ones going around like this and up there, and then they could have this going up here and across there and down there. And you mustn't be that everything's filled up and the only possible thing you can play is there, and then suddenly red has boom, 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 boom. So you can go from having no X's to a whole board full of them. So you've got to think about it again. Think, play for fun and think to win. And you can have a whole big, huge board of this. You can play with a little one like this, or you can play with a really big one. Right, so those are games that, so this is the proper square game. I just added that little square game because we've got the grids, and I've been wanting to show you that all weekend. So you've got that as another possibility with using the grid games, and that as you're making squares, you're just not making them. Now can you see the difference? So this is really is a thinking game. This one involves spotting the odd squares. So the easiest way to win this game is to do what Blue has done here and locate the squares without the other team noticing the square that you're looking for. So the more you concentrate on finding the squares, the more likely you are to win the game. As long as you don't take your eye off the ball. Shall I demonstrate one more, or you'll find it out for yourselves? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, see. Well, I'm going to let you find it out for yourselves. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscription button if this is on YouTube, which is going up on now. And so if you're on Facebook still, that is the Bubbly Maths YouTube channel and the Maths Toys YouTube channel. Bubbly Maths has all these lives on it, and the Maths Toys has the much smaller videos that help you use the resources that these ideas come from. So these ideas are doing activities that are stimulating, where you're discovering maths, and they are home learning activities attached to teacher activities, because they were originally written by an organization that does professional development for teachers in Africa, teachers that live in rural areas, in disadvantaged communities, and the resources have to be easy for the teachers to access without having, there isn't somebody there that can help them learn how to use it. So it's got to be easy to follow, and it's also got to be rich. So that is how each learner can explore and develop and discover for themselves. And they're all like that. So they're low entry, high ceiling. That means that wherever you are on your attainment level, you can get in and have a go at the game and just make dots and squares, or you can keep going to a higher level, like for example, find all the squares in this bigger grid here, for example. That's quite a challenging activity, and then record it systematically like I started doing here. Right, so the other thing is, one of the ways you could record that, by the way, is very visually, you could actually put the dots in, so it's super clear exactly which square we're talking about there, and you could put the dots in that one, so you can see. Is that right? Oh, there's one in the middle. That's right, there's one in the middle. So you can see super clearly exactly what squares they are. Okay, so can you see that? You see all the little dots, and so that's, yeah. And please do, if you find this group useful, please share the lives and share activities that you like that on your own page, and then also just say something about just tell your friends about the group. And if you put that on your Facebook profile, then that will give your friends an opportunity to just tell them how it's helping you and why you think it might help them. That'd be wonderful. And with a link to the group, and the links and everything are all in the announcements on the top. So let's see who's come to see us. Salvo, hello Salvo. Mike Radcliffe, hello Mike. Dummy, hi Dummy, hello Alan, how are you? It's good to see you. Caroline King, and Marianne, Barbara, hello Barbara. Trevor Owen, hello, it's good to see you. Hello Bibbledy Bob, and Mike Ratcliffe. I've just realised I've been seeing the name for such a long time, and I thought, oh, that sounds like someone I used to work with. It turns out it is someone I used to work with. It took me years to work it out. And Bibbledy Bob again, Russell and Andy. So thank you for joining. Just double check. I don't think there's anything on the other one. I'm not even going to look there. It's all grand. And thank you for joining. I'm going to find how to end the live. So the next one is at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is an actual show. So 10 o'clock is Bubbles coming on. Bubbles just basically is my performing persona. And we're going to be using soap bubbles and balloons. And we're going to be following the theme of the weekend. Well, it's actually a 5 or 6 day theme, involves triangles and squares. So I'm going to be making triangular and square balloons, okay? Like, you know, kind of like balloon modeling, like dogs and things, but triangles and squares, but really big ones, really big ones. And we're going to have square and triangular bubbles. Now, wait a minute. Did I just say we're going to have square and triangular bubbles? Really? How are you going to do that? Well, tune in at 10 o'clock in 35 minutes and you will see triangular and square, triangular and square, square, square bubbles. Yeah, I mean it. I'm not joking. See you in 34 minutes for that. That's 10 o'clock, or replay the live, and it will be called Triangle and Square Bubbles and Balloons if you want to, if you need to search for it. Right, let's see. Now I've got to find out how to finish the live. See if anyone else has joined us. No, and find where to finish the live, which is there. Yay! See you in a few minutes if you want to join us. That's for, specifically for early years. It's fun for anybody. Well, it's fun for me. Am I quite a infantile grown up? Possibly. I hope you enjoy it. Please do join us. Oh, and then 9 o'clock tonight, we're going to play the game one more time. And then in the morning, we're going to have more triangles and squares, but we're going to talk about the math. So if you want to be doing this at home and you want to make sure that you're reflecting upon the maths and actually furthering your child's understanding of maths, then what we do, so this is practice, this is a fun way to make it happen, do the thinking. And tomorrow morning we're going to reflect on the actual maths so that you can see what we're actually learning with respect to the maths curriculum and what we need in order to develop our mathematical journey and become great young mathematicians. So that's tomorrow morning at 9 London time, and again at 10 for early years. Bye. Thank you for joining. Bye.